Why do great companies start feeling different once they cross 100 employees? Why does culture quietly breaks when hiring scales fast? And can HR systems actually have a company soul instead of killing it? Welcome back to another episode of Xobin Talks, where we explore insightful conversation with top HR leaders on real-world HR strategies, challenges, and future trends. I'm your host, Nikita, and today we have someone who is one of the youngest CHROs with hands-on experience across Africa, the Middle East, and Asia, Mr. Chetan Swaroop Sharma, Chief Human Resource Officer at CABALLO Commodities DMCC. Chetan, welcome to Xobin Talks. It's great to have you here. To begin, could you please introduce yourself and share a bit about your HR journey?
Thank you so much, Nikta, for having me here, and I'm excited to share my piece of insights with the audience and everybody around. Uh, this is Chetan Sharma. I have 15 years of experience leading HR for the Middle East, India, Africa regions, and I have worked across semi-formal and formal cultures, and I always aim to positively impact right from chairman to doorman to shareholder and stakeholders. For me, HR processes and uh, HR theories or HR deliveries are more about impacting people positively and the business, top line and bottom line, because we are working with people, our shareholders, our workforce, our customers, uh, our external government, all are people. So we need to manage well with people. We need to build our people capable of managing people. So that is what I believe of. And I'm not someone who is theory driven HR professional. For me, a PPT doesn't matter. It is about what do I change on the soft floor? What do I change about the culture? Because culture is not on the posters. What my workforce is doing night in the night, 2 a.m. That is what the culture for me. So I'm very big advocate of empathy, and on the other side, I don't want someone to take advantage of organization as well. So thank you so very much. Look forward to questions.
So, Chetan, you have worked in environments where HR processes were initially semi-formal or informal. What are the first signs you look for that tells you this organization needs a full HR system overall?
Sure. So let me answer this question first. What is semi-formal organization and how is it different from formal organization? So in a semi-formal organizations, uh, decisions are taken based on two or three individual opinions, their recommendations, and these decisions are inconsistent. So when I say these decisions are inconsistent, so to the similar kind of problem, there are different solution. Policies existing, but practice depends on the manager recommendation. And semi-formal environment is an environment where people are pleasing people, not protecting the interest of the organization. So work is getting done. Okay, there is a speed, but no governance. So
Yes.
SOP is completely missing. Processes are there, but again, what would be implemented, what would be followed, that depends on the manager. So that is the difference in between formal and semi-formal organization. Basically, all the if we say all the global big scale companies are built by capable people, not by policies. But however, policies, standardization, benchmarking plays a vital role in scaling and governance. If I join an organization, so first I would not look at policies. I would look at leaders' behavior and how are they executing work, first of all. Second thing, that retention of mid-level talent, because what happens in semi-formalization, that okay, leaders or managers, they are there since 10 years, 15 years, or 20 years. But mid-level talent, they are coming and going. Their tenure is very less. So second is retention rate of mid-level talent. Third is routine matters. In semi-formal organization, what happens that as and when any issue is cropping up, it is immediately escalated to the top management. So how frequent routine matters are escalated to top management. And large scale operations without governance. In semi-formalization, managers and leaders give a lot of theoretical commitments without traction. So that is somewhere, it triggers that yes, there is need to standardize the process, and there is need and it is necessary to have overall professional HR overhaul.
Yes, I agree with you because on a daily basis, we also see the same pattern when companies don't have structured hiring and assessment system. This is exactly where Xobin steps in, bringing standardized, skills-based assessments and structured evaluation so that HR can structure everything, properly. Now, let's move on to the next question. Standardization is often a critical part of global HR transformation. How important is it for organizations to have structured framework for performance evaluation, competency mapping, and talent assessment?
Okay, let me answer this question in another way. If you ask me, do you really need HR today? So my answer would be to you always yesterday. When you scale up or you think of scaling, then it becomes non-negotiable to standardize the processes when it comes to performance, when it comes to hiring, when it comes to reward, or when it comes to talent assessment. Without structured mechanism, all these processes are always relationship based, always reaction based, always need based, right? So, but role clarity, goal clarity, and the future progression must be brutally clear, because people do not accept ambiguity; they accept clarity. If
Exactly.
it is unclear to them where are they starting and what will they get, where will they end, then it doesn't make sense for them to stay. We lose talent in slowly if things are not clear to them. So that's when standardization becomes non-negotiable, and it kills confusion. When we standardize things, everything is crystal clear, fair, open, transparent. So by this, we can increase belongingness, we can reduce the attrition, and we can stabilize the performances.
Exactly. Without framework, performance become opinion based, right? And that fairness angle is the key. One thing we have noticed as Zarbin is how competency based assessments help organizations move from gut feeling to evidence based decision. When performance skills and growth are measured on the same scale, employees feel the system is fair. Now, let's move on to the next question. If you could pick up only one HR system or practice that instantly elevates a semi formal organization to global standards, what would it be?
Okay, I would again say that we all are people. Our stakeholders are people, customers are people, workforce is people, shareholder is people. So again, and managers build the culture. And when manager builds the culture, everything follows. So one function I can say that is managers capability with their people management skill set. So a lot of potential performers do not leave organization always. They leave bad culture, and bad culture is created by bad manager. So when I say bad culture, what is bad culture? That managers are not prioritizing the well-being of the employees. They are not having receptive bent of mindset towards the suggestions, or they must be people pro before reaching it out to HR. They must be the first hand assistance provider to their teammates. So that's where I rate this function as one of the most vital function which can improve positively overall efficiency. First, if we have capable people with right people management skill set, it will increase trust. Second, it will help us to reduce attrition. Top performers wouldn't leave. Third thing, performance would be stabilized. So because when we fix the manager fix the culture and everything else follow. So that is what I can say.
That's powerful because hiring is where culture actually enters the organization. When companies use structured interviews, role based assessments, and anti cheating mechanisms like web proctoring, the quality of talents improve dramatically. And you know what? Xobin doesn't just help hire faster, it helps hire the right talent, especially when organizations are transitioning from informal to a formal setup. Chetan, now let's move on to the next question. HR teams today are overwhelmed. Tones of resume, LinkedIn auto apply, high volume but low signal. Do you think AI agents will become the first layer of talent operations, especially in screening, interviewing, and evaluating talent?
Oh yes. See, about this question, I would like to start with that what do we expect from AI? That must be clear, right? AI is something which can read the data and deliver, but it cannot replace human judgments. So, to answer this question, yes, AI certainly can take up routine jobs of hiring, screening, then shortlisting, then your first round open-ended interviews, knockout questions. So, the AI can take up and do very well with routine jobs. But again, I would say that AI cannot sense the potential. AI cannot sense the culture fitment. AI cannot sense the feeling or the I would say that a person who can excel or not. That sort of willingness and readiness. I would say mindset. So that's where human judgment always decisions must be remain with human judgment. So that is what I would say.
Exactly. AI isn't here to replace judgment, but to remove the noise. Like what we see with Zobin's agentic AI, screening, assessments, automated shortlisting, AI interviews, and much more, with which HR don't have to spend time on screening thousands of applicants. Instead, they have to spend their time with the top 10 to 15 candidates and shortlist the best out of them. So AI is not replacing HR, but it is shaping and helping them to shortlist the right candidate for their company while saving 80% of their time. So yes,
Correct.
yeah, let's move to the next question. What's the first thing that breaks when a good culture company scales from 60 to 200 people? We have seen this pattern repeatedly. So, do we just accept the culture will break, or is there a way to fix it without killing the company's soul?
See, when people workforce numbers are around 50, 60, and it is owner driven. So always everyone knows that whom should I approach, who is decision maker, and what is accepted, what is not accepted, and all the outcomes are majorly relationship based. But once you grow from more than 100, then clarity disappears and confusion take place. Most importantly, because similar kind of managers with whom we used to deal before, now they are dealing for multiple companies under the same logo. So different managers start running different companies, then people do not know what is right, what is wrong, whom to approach. And we don't need to accept culture breaking. We need to fix it early. And if I would be the one who would be fixing it, then three, four things I would do. First is, one thing which is non-negotiable for me, that is ethics, code of conduct, ethics, values, fairness, respect, and leadership behavior. So that code of conduct need to finalize, communicated, agreed, and implemented. Second thing, I would say human related. decisions. So there should be a mechanism, whatever you call it. Their different organization have different DNA and different their custom fit requirements. So when it comes to hiring, when it comes to promotions, or when it comes to reward, so there must be a method based or matrix based decision making. So one rule for one nature kind of decision. So that is the second thing I will do. Third thing is always that I would uh, I would like to develop my managers capability before, so in advance, so making them future ready. Do the competency mapping, what is needed in the future, who what are the skill set required, who possess that skill set, who is trainable, who is not trainable. Then based on that, putting them into performance improvement plans. If it is not taking place, then hire right set of skill set. So these all things I would do.
Yes, I understand your perspective. That idea of codifying culture is so important. We often say culture isn't what you say, it's what you measure. When hiring assessments evaluates not just skills but value alignment and behavior, companies scale without losing their identity. Now it's time for our last question. In our part of the world, there is a term called Lala company. When we talk to candidates, they often say, I don't want to work for a Lala company. Lala company is basically a family driven company. It's a prime example of a semi formal work culture. A lot of these Lala companies want to become professional, but they face their own challenges like hierarchy, family style decision making, and informal power dynamics. Given your experience, how should one transform these into transparent, merit based structure without triggering cultural backlash?
Okay. Very delicate point. Many of the viewers may dispute with my opinion, but let me share my piece of advice. See, there are plus and minus working for Lala company. Working for Lala company, I would start with advantages, then we will go to disadvantages. That the
Absolutely.
kind of exposure, learning, overambitious environment, high-end pressure, what it construct in you, that a structured company can never build. When it comes to candidature building, when it comes to skill set acquiring, so whether it's a technical skill set or it's a culture skill set. So first, it make you adaptable, it make you to deal with over ambitious pressure, over ambitious types, timelines, and all this kind of stuff. But yes, there are a lot of disadvantage, because everything is gut based, nothing is data based. So relationship based. If I like you, doesn't matter. I don't care about your skill set, or I don't care about your experience. What matters to me, my likability. Second thing in Lala companies, tenure, loyalty overshoot the potential and the skill set and the capabilities. So these are the things that people are nowadays more reluctant to work for Lala companies. One solid line that Lala, what they preach, they do not practice. They will always complain that, okay, we are lacking people with ownership, we are lacking people with accountability, sincerity, we don't have retention. But when it comes to regarding the real talent efforts, it is also not taking place. They are taking them for granted. And Lalas are always looking for nobility. Always look for an example, you have matched the desired standard of the job, but then they will say, okay, no, this is routine. Let us get someone over him or her. That person can do wonders. So that's where people do not have visibility to grow with the organization. So I would say that, first of all, uh, these kind of semi-formal companies, they must standardize, they must benchmark the processes from which companies their workforce is coming and to which companies their workforce is going to join. So they need to create a balance of, when I say compensation, benefits, rewards, PMS, learning, then family care. They need to work a lot on increasing belongingness. Of course, they need to have emotions, but their emotions should not control the decision making. So, so these things they need to start small, but start with purpose. They need to remove favoritism, interest decision making to the workforce, to the leaders. So these all are the aspects and the viewpoints which I would like to bring into your attention.
That's such a balanced perspective, like change systems, not sentiments. And
Yeah.
honestly, technology helps here. When hiring, promotion, and performance decisions are backed by data, structured assessments, and auditory process, people stop questioning the intent, right? So, Chetan, this had been incredibly insightful. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with our listeners. And to our listeners, if you have any questions, you can write to us or you can connect with Chetan directly. We will attach his LinkedIn profile in the description. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you in the next episode. Don't forget to like, share, and comment your thoughts on this podcast. Thank you.
Thank you.